Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Pine Pass in Cities Skylines. We have quite a heavy snowfall occurring. That's something we're going to have to contend with soon because we have a lot of snow-covered roads you can see all the way out in the distance. The first thing we need to contend with, though, is we're back over here at this intersection. I like it. I really do. However, it's problematic. For a couple reasons. Most of this traffic is coming through and just wanting to get on the highway and leave. Very, very little of it is actually going into the city. You can see, I mean, there's some, but I'd say, maybe a third coming into the city and 2/3 just passing through. I mean, just heading right on out. And the same thing is happening in the opposite direction. We have a lot of people coming in. Some going into the city. Not really. Actually, take that back. None going into the city. I might want to check that node, make sure it's broken, not broken. And then we have some that look like they may be coming down in this way for industry. Kind of makes sense since we have industry over here. We don't have any rail yet in the city. I mean, there are railroads, but we don't have any rail service to handle that cargo. So it's all going out by truck. And the problem that we have with this intersection is what it's done to traffic. I mean, we're backed up all the way around this curve. We're backed up onto the highway, and occasionally we back up here. The only side that's doing well is the side that is connected to the city. And I've played around with this, looking for the best solution. I had come up with doing a double lane here and bringing this up and over and making a connection to here and then bringing this in as well. So the people who are wanting to just bypass it and go from this highway to that highway and vice versa going that way can. And then that way this is only handling mostly local traffic. Well, half of it is local. But that doesn't really give us a solution for any traffic wanting to go that way or come out over here. And it worked. It helped some, but there was still some backup. What I found that worked the best, and this kind of surprised me a lot, was we put in the time traffic light here. I've messed around in my sandbox copy of this many times. And no stoplight seems to be the best somehow. Like, just no control access at all, other than, what I've done here, which we are going to take this back a bit and give us some dedicated lanes so the people making rights don't have anybody pulling into that lane. They only got to deal with people coming left. People coming straight through go into that lane as well, but we don't have a whole lot of traffic coming from this direction yet. We may have soon, but currently, no. And then down the highway, they can switch lanes as they need to. And it's the same thing here. They've got a protected right, and that works really well. We don't have anybody coming straight across because that would be silly, because why would you get off the highway to get right back on it? So we want to discourage that behavior, and we are. So same thing going this way. You can only go left or right. You cannot go straight across. The only people who can go straight across are here on our main road. And I kind of hate that this is what clears it up. I'm going to speed up time. You can see we've already cleared up most of this, and as a result, that's letting all of this clear up. We were backed up to what, about there? And now our backup is to here, and this will clear. If we let this run long enough, this will clear up, and in fact, you can see it's already getting better, and this just really irks me that there's zero, nothing. There's no access control here whatsoever. It is just a free-for-all. Nobody has lane priority as far as being able to block any lanes. Those are only happening over here because I had some cars stopping at those nodes, which happens from time to time. But here, it's just every vehicle for itself, and that works. I guess if it works, it works. It'll take a while for this to fully clear, but it did in my sandbox finally clear, and yeah. Anyway, we're not gonna overthink it. We're just gonna let it be, and we're gonna come into this view, and I kind of wanna. I haven't tested any of this yet. This is all just. Oh, I saw some new things there. What was that? What did I just click on that gave me that? Was it this? I didn't know I had this stuff. Oh, you European survey. Gotcha. Yeah, okay. Anyways, we want to come into this here for our terrain. Bring our brush size up a little bit, and I'm just going to test this out. I don't know if I'm actually going to stick with this, so bear with me while we workshop together here. I want to grab this elevation right here and bring it back a bit. And then see what this looks like. And I can already tell it looks like trash, probably, but we can possibly feather that out. Yeah, it looks pretty bad right there, but I think we can make it look alright if we just come back into our tool, bring our brush strength down a little bit on the softened terrain. And I want to look at it at this view so I can see where my slopes actually are, so that I know what I need to... where I need to drag it to smooth this out a bit. And we gained a little bit of space this way. And that is pretty much what I wanted, though. That's still looking pretty rough right there. Let's just clean this up maybe a little bit more. There we go. This is the area that I wanted to have space. We're going to back the railroad off a little bit more for now. Gosh, that was loud. So was that thunder. Is it thundering in real life, or is it thundering in game? In game. But also, in real life. We are having one heck of a storm here in West Central Arkansas, and it's supposed to do that for days and days to come. Actually, just today and tomorrow. So, what is this area for? Well, a couple things. This whole general area is eventually... hopefully, and maybe some over here across the highway, going to house some services. We're probably going to try to move our heating down here, maybe even our power production. But to start with, what we really need is, you can see, you can come out of this view, our snow dump's full. So they can't send trucks out to clear these roads. And thunder snow, one of my favorite things in the world. So we need to deal with that. And we need to deal with it quickly. Before we get too into the weeds with this, I want to just kind of bring this road down and then back over and start climbing and make it just kind of parallel to the highway. And that's all we're going to do right there. Just enough to get that around that corner. And then I want to take a look at it and make sure... yeah, I think that'll be okay. That might be a little steep there, and we might have to slope that some. But overall, I think it'll be fine. And then, ooh, gosh, I just keep jumping. We actually had a tornado warning where I live earlier today. It was, like I said, kind of violent weather we're having. We can come in here and use just these lovely small industry roads. I don't think we're going to need anything more. And I want to bring that down pretty far. And then here, let's see. How big are you? Okay, that's the sky. There we are. We're back on the ground here. This thing is 270. To clear it, we would need to go 300. So where would that be? That would be like right... oh, that's perfect. There's a node there. Yeah, so we're going to come off right here. And we're going to bring this almost to the collector. And then we're going to stop just short of it. And then we're going to come in here and see... I was really hoping I could get 2 of these in here. That's unfortunate. But it's okay. You may remember several episodes ago I said that the state was going to be making some demands when it came time to do some upgrades that they were going to ask the county and the city to cede some land for state use, and this is it. This is a state highway snow facility. Granted, it's not going to function like that because it's a game. There is a mod that I could restrict it to. I could draw a district around all the highways, and we could make it be on just those highways, and that would be fine. I just realized we need these water pipes. I also need to turn down the volume in my headset because that's really loud. It would be fine to go through and do that with the mod, but I just don't think it's necessary. But we are going to try to get a couple of these in here. So then, oops, this road again. So if we go 600 down, that's right there. Again, very handy. We just happen to have a node. And then we can get a third in, I do believe. Not quite as large. Oh, that's way too far. I can go up 2 more tiles. Okay. So we can actually put that road. I keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. We can put that road instead of here. We can put it here. Right? Yeah, I think so. Nope. There we go. And then jump over to here. And now, oh, now it's too close. How did I do that? Okay, so we split the middle. Don't connect. Stop it. There. Now you're good, right? Seriously. You're seeing this, right, guys? Like, the fact that I moved it just 1 tile, and so we don't want it there. We want it right here. I could have sworn that's where I just had it, but probably not. There. I really wish I could fit some more of these in here, but what we can do, I don't know if we have a road maintenance department. We have one. This is going to be, you know, just ultra realistic. We're just going to go ahead and bring that down here, and it can serve as kind of the headquarters for the area, the main building. Will it fit this way? No. It's got to go there. Okay, cool. So that gets us the start of the state facility. We do have some room to expand, not a lot, but a little bit. And they're all off the collectors, so they can come down in here, dump their snow, and take care of that. And what we're going to do is go ahead and start emptying this one. It will melt as temperatures get above freezing. But for now, at negative 10.6, not going to happen anytime soon. So that is phase 1. Phase 2 is going to be getting an area for heating. And this is where I think we're going to struggle a bit. I want to grab maybe this elevation right here. And I'm going to bring it all the way up to this road. I don't think this would be too unrealistic to see a large development happening like this. We don't want to encroach too much into our ore industry, though it's not going to take up all of that space. And it could also, we could do some of the processing over on that side and just move things by rail. I just want to bring this back a bit, because this is where we're going to move some of our geothermal facilities. And I just want to, again, take a look at that. Not too shabby, all things considered. Yeah, we're not keeping up with our heating. And we know that, and that's what we're working on right now, so it's okay. So we're going to grab this road for now. Though, no, you know what? Let's go ahead and stick to using industry roads. Maybe. Yeah, let's stick to using industry roads. And we're going to bring that back just as far as well, not quite as far as the area we flattened. We'll go about there, and then I want to turn it and kind of come up alongside this rail. So let's do that, actually. Let's just build a road beside the rail. Bring that out just a smidge beyond. Now we can come out of here. That is unfortunately sunken down because I forgot to reset the mod to follow terrain, I guess. Is that what's happening? Have a straight slope. Nope. Why is it? But we can hit that and then jump back to 0. But that's not what I want to do. I want to use this mod and go ahead and Let's see. Create loop, no. Arrange, no. Line, no. I'm just looking to see what else we have. So there's create connection mode that won't necessarily create a curve, but it's going to do weird things. I know there's ways to undo that weird. No, I want this end and this end, and it's just not gonna. So then double click on center to change curve, or double click on circle center to change curve direction. Right, that's what I want right there. Just a nice little turn going back to industry, and then we're gonna run a couple little roads off the side to here. But again, I want to go use the buildings we already have as a way to see how long these are. I'm going to turn anarchy on simply because there's stuff in the way. Okay, mouse, cooperate. So 480, it looks like, is the distance that we need. And we are going to have them elevated up. They're going to maybe not look the best, but we're going to try. So maybe we back this off instead of 480, like, so that's there. And if we go 1, 2, 3 more, so we could just come right off here and just straight through. And of course, that is not at ground level. It's okay. We're just going to grab all these nodes. If I can find the shift key on my keyboard, there we go. We grab all these nodes, and we're going to come into anarchy and come to the right thing, and boom, put this train height. And that's better, but it looks like I missed one. I did. I don't know how I did, but I did. And we will bump that to train height. There we go. That's better. So we don't need a whole lot of road access on that, because this is just going to be heating facilities. My mouse is overly sensitive today. And yeah, I think that will probably be enough. We're going to go ahead and overbuild just a smidge here, because we're also going to start looking at starting good English there, Brendan. We're going to start looking at decommissioning some things in this part of town. I think our land is just too valuable to let it just sit here and be utility usages or uses. So I think that's going to be something that we're going to slowly over time investigate, moving the industry out of here and the city services out of here. Garbage collection will be a different beast, but I'm thinking once we hit 18,000, we'll be good to go with these guys. So that should help with the snow-covered roads somewhat, because that triples. So now instead of having 10 trucks, we have 30. And we also have quite a bit of snow dump space. I'm okay with how these jump up to the road like that, with the fence following up. It's fine. This area over here, I think, looks nice. It's nice and flat. It's geothermal. It's by a hill. That kind of makes sense. So what do I want to focus on today, other than what we just did? Well, I want to be able to start building out into this area with a little bit of density kind of along the highway, but mostly low density. Primarily a bedroom community. By bedroom community, it means, just a lot of houses, very little retail, very little office. We'll maybe have some retail uses kind of up close by our collector. We're going to bring another collector in this direction and then have them meet up. And that might be the extent of our retail. Maybe, like I said, a bit of density in residential kind of up in this direction, but I really want to keep it all low density. So let's take a look at how we're going to do that. So I think the first thing that we need to do, we already have this collector here. Right now, we are prioritizing this movement into this neighborhood, and that's fine. But I think we can get more value out of going straight across. That's kind of a nice straight bit of the river, so we can get across rather easily. And then we've talked about this a couple times, taking just a bit of eminent domain right here on this corner and bringing this collector on around and upgrading all of this, and then going across the river there as a collector as well. And then maybe it can kind of tee off into another collector that comes down this way. I don't think we're going to do access directly to this highway. I think what we'll do is a simple overpass with some on and off ramps to here. That way they can go to either highway. And that's the reason I don't want a ton of commercial in here. I want to make sure that we're not sending a lot of cargo trucks and things like that down this way. So let's make these changes, and to do that, I am gonna pause the game, question mark. Yeah, I am. Oh wait, there's one other thing though that I thought of that I wanted to do. I want to have a couple of connections over the highway. Right now, the only way to get to this side is through here, and that's kind of silly, especially when we have space right here. So I want to make those connections really fast before we do anything else. I knew there was something else I had planned for this video before we got onto building a big neighborhood. So let's get these built here. Probably need to come up 8 meters because of that slope right there. Yeah. And then come back down. That's a bit steep for the ramp, but trucks do fit under it. Okay. Okay, why am I not? There we go. For some reason I wasn't inside the game all of a sudden. And why does it keep looking at the sky? Now, this might be a bit more challenging for over here for a couple of reasons. One, we're going through some buildings, but two, this is elevated already. So I'm not sure about this one. Let's see what it would take to get it over to start with. I think we'll probably have to go up 9 on this one, maybe even 10. Yeah, we're going to have to go up like 10, aren't we? Oof. And then that's a really... 11? Is it 11? Is it because I'm too close? Let's go back to 10 and bump out 1 here. Nope. Does not get over. So 11. Oh, wow. Okay. It's 12 meters. That is really, really high. And I don't like that hill. I mean, if this were a tropical map and things like that, I could deal with it. But I think in an area, I mean, I've been to resort towns that had some pretty significant hills. And I think people just dealt with it by having studded tires. But on this side, oof, yeah, it's already, that's slope too steep. So then our only other option would be to come across here. We can go under here if we relocated some of that. We could dip the road down and go under. But this one, isn't going to cut it for us. But then again, if we go down here, the benefit is really limited. So maybe for now we just have the one connection. We could also possibly bridge across there, and then that's already elevated. So that might work out. Well, I'm very sorry about your house, friends. Let's give this a shot and see what we can do with this. So we go 8 meters, and then 8 meters, and then I want to stay as a bridge, but come down. So we actually wound up going up. So this side we can probably bring down to that elevation. How does that look for trucks getting underneath? Let's slow this down. Just waiting for a big donut truck to come through here, so give me a second while we wait on that. Yep, that's a little uncomfortable. So let's bring this up just a smidge here. Just a little bit. Actually, is this side lower than that side? That might help. Yeah, I think that'll do it. I think that will be fine. I don't think it's too low. We got plenty of clearance over the bug van, and the bug vans and the donut vans are the tallest things, not the tanky trucks. So we're good. We're good, and that gets us a couple more ways across without having to send everyone down to that collector. You just barely clear there, but we clear fine on that side. So again, are we not at the same elevation here. So if I go from that to that, I can bring that down a little bit. And that makes me a little more comfortable with that slope. So cool. I heard that we had an academic year, but I don't think we have enough students. Yeah, we don't have enough students right now to justify anything. So let's see if we can make this video about something other than just playing with roads. And to do that, I need to just play with roads for a little while. Gonna sever this connection, bring that across, and then we're gonna fix this. So I think I will just speed up the footage for this section and let you watch as I get these roads in. I'm gonna do most of this paused. And as I've been building roads, we suddenly have a death care problem. We have crematoriums, do we not? We got one. We only have one. We have two crematoriums, but what we have is an empty cemetery. So we can stop emptying that one. And we now need to empty that one. So basically we were putting the full weight of that. I could have sworn I said stop. There we go. And I could have sworn I said start. Apparently my mouse just doesn't want to click. This should get this death wave cleaned up. I was sitting there so involved in the roads that I didn't even notice. It's also why we have crime back here, because apparently the dead people are robbing the house. Or because it's abandoned and all the mail is accumulating, somebody broke in. But that'll clear up the death wave. So back to me building roads. See, I think I'm good with this general layout for collectors, and I can already see that this has helped. This over here, this is a bit of a strange curve right here. I think we can make that better using our mod and maybe arrange it line mode. Maybe if we go like to there, maybe that'll make that. Yeah, it's a not so harsh curve. Looks like it may go a little bit wobbly there. I think that's just the way my really low detail is for some reason. I don't know why it's that low. But that gets us in a good spot, I think, to go ahead and start looking at some zoning over here. But first, we need utilities. We also need to correct this. So we're going to just briefly disconnect that neighborhood, but we'll put it right back. And then we should be able to get water pipes in through here pretty easily. So if I come over here to where this is straight and go right there, and then I'll turn all these off and then just bring a couple connections through, and that's fine. That'll work beautifully. And then I want to go ahead and just follow underneath our collector here, which, yes, our collector just does dead end. That happens. Sometimes the collector will just terminate in a T-junction with local roads, and that's probably what's going to happen out there. I don't know. This is a lot of land to work on, so we'll probably be building out here for a while. I can't see any reason to not take advantage of this new land that we've opened up with all of our infrastructure projects. So obviously we've got an opportunity for like a little city square right here. We can do some commercial along the collector, and I think that would be a beneficial thing. But what I want to make sure that we do is not get too many local road connections on this, because especially this area and even coming down around here, maybe not as much down here is important, but all of this we want to try to keep clear. In fact, I think I'm probably not going to have any connections off of this segment at all. Maybe a few down here, mostly all off of this one. Into just little different neighborhoods that we're going to start, first of all, by expanding the area for our school. And we are going to bring one bridge across with a local road, and then the rest of the access will be off of our collector over here. So there'll be like 2 entrances into the school, as it were. Let's get rid of that. And I kind of want to see where I want to bring this across, because obviously we're going to have to turn, because I don't want it to go across the wide bit. I want it to kind of cross like here. So I'm thinking if we go about right here, this would be good. And just get that up to right about there-ish, and then just use our curved road tool and make our connection. And that should be fine, and the bridge should be fine as is as well. And it is. So let's start looking at what we're going to do for laying out some roads here. And again, I'm going to just speed things up so we can get the roads done pretty quick and then get on to actual zoning. Cool, and that gets us an area to get started with a bit of a neighborhood. I don't know that we're going to get anything. Actually, we probably could. I could probably get away with this. Hold on. I was thinking we weren't going to be able to get anything on this side, but I think there's enough to play with right there that we can maybe make this look all right and actually get some zoning in on this side of the road as well as the other. If I'm very... I mean, it's going to leave a pretty steep cliff, and the road's going to kind of cut into it. So I don't know, maybe not. Just depends on if I like it. I'm going to leave that end alone. So what did that give us? That gave us quite a bit of zoning, to be fair. What I do want to do, though, is come in here and turn off the zoning on this side road, just so we get more down in these areas. We'll leave it on there. This is just meant to be larger lots down this way, not high density. Just basically some nice homes that get to take advantage of some spectacular views. We do have demand for industry and offices, which is unfortunate. We are going to add in some commercial, but we are not going to be adding any industry or offices today. God, this is a very odd spot right here because of the way the zoning works. I think what we'll do to get that to work to our advantage is come in through here with a fence, and that'll give us a little bit more back there. And then maybe if I run a fence just like right here, yeah, I can get a little bit more, just a teeny tiny bit more frontage here for some commercial. A bit. Oh, okay, it did give me that square. So a little commercial there, a little bit right in through here and right here. This might be too steep, but I'm going to go for it anyway. We'll see what we get. And if I don't like it, well, we can undo it. So we'll get all that in, and we'll bring in a bit more commercial here, but I don't want to get too close to the intersection because the trucks are turning. And then we're just going to fill in some of these lots down here. I'm not going to get things too close together. Want a bit of separation. We will do larger lots, however, right here by the water edge. I think that would be appropriate, at least in the neighborhood I live in. It seems that the closer you get to the water, the more land you have. And we will just continue on around this corner here. Starting to get a bit more dense, but then we can spread back out a little bit. I don't have any zoning right there, but I think that's okay, because I think we're on a bit of a hill right here. And I don't know that we want to do too much there anyway. So let's get this in. And we will need to think about schools and city services and things like that over here. We're going to do that over here. Went with a larger grid this time just so we can have more room for parks and school campuses and things like that. But we do need schools over here. We don't really have like the need from capacity standpoint. This is more about access. And I think it is important to consider that when you're building in your schools is not only do you have enough, but do you have good access? We're going to put a playground there. And we're going to come in and we might even use this larger high school. Yeah, let's use the bigger high school. Let's turn anarchy off. Go with a bigger high school and we'll orient it this direction so that back here we can do the facilities that would go with it. Starting with, gosh, where was it? Where was the hockey rink? Here it is. I couldn't remember. Hockey rink. We're gonna give the high school a hockey rink. Maybe to this side. Nah, we don't want to do that. We will put it. We'll put it down here, and then I also want to go ahead and get in, even though we have them elsewhere. I think don't we have the pool and sauna elsewhere? No, we don't. This will be our first one. Okay, so cool. We can put in the gym. I don't know that we want to do an outdoor swimming pool. I mean, it could be heated, but nah, let's not do that. Instead, let's go for a sauna. I don't know if that really fits. Let's put the sauna down here by the commercial. I think that'd be a nice fit right there. Cool. So let's get in a little bit more commercial by this sauna. Just like right there. And then a bit more residential, but first I do want to look at unemployment. And it's creeping on up, which is unfortunate. I do want to check our heating is way up. Why? Because I wanted to eliminate these now, because we are going to start moving things, as I mentioned, out and away from this area. That should leave our heating right where we need it to be. Each of these makes 80, so we're at 240. Good. Good. Excellent. So I guess if we need to, we could. Well, we need more garbage processing to start with. That should do it. That should do it. I guess we could get a little bit more industry back here just for employment purposes right now. We don't have too much traffic coming in on this direction. I really didn't want to do any there. I guess I could do some here and maybe a little bit here, but I don't want to do too much on that road that's coming in, simply because, well, it's pulling a lot of traffic. We could add a bit more back here. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm hoping that this intersection doesn't become a nightmare now that it is essentially an arterial leading to another collector that comes back around. Oh dear Lord. Fires everywhere. But let's go over here and do a bit more zoning. Check out our city services like healthcare and things like that on this side of town. Not the greatest, but not the worst considering their vicinity there, and they do have both the sauna and the pool. So I think they'll be okay when it comes to healthcare. I think what we want to consider for these guys will be like fire coverage and things like that. So I don't have a whole lot of places that I can really put these. So we're just going to have to kind of fudge these guys in there a little bit. And then how's our postal service looking? We have an post office, so I think that this little neighborhood would be a nice area to get another one started. I don't want it on the collector, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. Right there to separate some of that out. We're not going to build on this side of the road, I think, for obvious reasons, but some of these people are going to be living kind of close to the highway, and that's just part of it sometimes. Not going to go right up against it, but we are going to get pretty close. This little area, yeah, they're a little removed from the rest of the town, but at the same time, actually, I want to leave this area for campus, and then the campus will probably snake on around back there. And then I just want to finish all of this out over here with some residential. Don't want to get too close to that commercial. Also want to look here at our train. And we can get a couple houses in here. I don't think I want to do too many, because it gets pretty steep right there. And then, like I said, this is going to be probably reserved for the college campus, the trade school campus, once it makes its way over here. We will go ahead and zone in there. Get all of that zone. We'll leave that little spot for a path and a little breathing space there. And then we'll go right there with one more. And that should be good. I guess I can get maybe a few more back here. Yeah, a few more. I don't want to get too close to that on-ramp. But we'll put trees and some fences in there as well to help with that. So let's just watch and see as this fills in with some thunder snow going, what our new little area looks like. And it looks like I forgot water pipes in part of it. I did forget water pipes in part of it. There we go. Now, let's watch from this angle now that they have water heads and see how this all fills in. As our last little section starts to fill in there, it just dawned on me. I think I had changed and bumped my graphics down for a live stream. Yeah, I did. That's why things look so funky. That should look better. Maybe I need to go into one of the mods and change some things there as well. But we are getting, it's getting better. I always forget how much this high school actually looks like a prison. But that's kind of how I felt about high school, so we'll allow it. My goal is, yep, that's exactly what I was hoping for, is that we would get up to our next student level. We only need one more academic work, so I'm going to go ahead and stop giving them academic staff funding and instead switch over to there. And I'm going to look here. This does nothing to increase attractiveness. I don't think any of these do. The only thing is this one, I think. Increases students' health, increases happiness. Yeah, none of them increase attractiveness. Because again, I'm stuck with, we've got to get 1,800 more attractiveness. Well, now 5 more students. Actually, a lot more students than that. And I don't like overbuilding. Everybody's like, oh, just build one of every building. But yeah, then you get a campus with like 12,000 student capacity, and that's ridiculous. I don't like doing it because then you're limited on which universities you can and cannot use. So it's a bit frustrating. So I'm going to take one last look. Yeah, water and sewage is something we're going to have to think about soon, as well as power. But I think we're in pretty good shape. We will, again, be using most of this area back here to extend the campus out. We might bring one more bridge across here, and maybe even here. Not 100% certain. I was kind of concerned about traffic coming through here, but it looks like for the most part it's clearing up. Oh yeah, there is one last thing I wanted to do though. I had done this in the sandbox version of this, and I haven't done it here. We can do a slope right here and make this better. And everything still gets under there just fine, I think. Don't have answer close, but we're gonna allow it. We can always raise up the bridge there a little bit if you think we need to. We can do it. We have plenty of space to slope the highway and keep it at well below a 2%, really close to a 1%, even if I do raise up that span just a little bit there. So it is possible. Traffic was backing up in this area, but it looks like it's pretty much calmed down. And as we revisit over here where we took the traffic light off, this is flowing much better. I think a big part of that is this. I wanted extra long ramps here just in case we wound up... Ooh, I wound up clicking outside of the window. Just in case we wound up with any problems. And I do see a problem. I do see a couple problems. Do you see those problems? I think you do. I should fix those problems, yeah? Yeah, but not in the way that I want it to. So instead, we'll just use this and say, look, you can't go left there. You go straight, not left. And you can go straight and right. I don't think we're going to need to do lane mathematics here. I think it'll be okay. Plus, I don't have a 6-lane two-way highway. So, you know, I'm just going to have to live with it. So, yeah, we want both those going straight. We want that going straight, and we do not want you being able to make a left. There we go. I don't think we had anybody taking advantage of those weird lane setups, but just in case. So here we didn't need to go 4-lane all the way across because it's just people coming in this way and then turning left to go out that way. One thing I should check, and yeah, I definitely see that we do need to check. We don't need this being used as a turnaround. We want that to be right only. And then here, we don't want them going straight across to use that as just a bypass. That'll help make sure that this lane is only getting used for traffic that really wants to come over here and not just wanting to exit. And then same thing here, that they don't want to use it as a turnaround. So good stuff. I'm happy with what we've done. We've added, we got down to 11,000, so we're back up 4,000 more. Our death wave is over. Our cemetery is empty. So we can stop emptying that. And I think we're looking pretty fantastic. What's our land value like over here in this new area? Pretty good, especially right here by the water. Those are probably some very desirable homes. So we have upgraded the park and our nature reserve twice. While we've been playing, we've upgraded our university, and we'll get there eventually, especially as we start building a bit more density out this way. Going to follow the highway a little bit more for this area. Over here, a little bit more of a grid, but also following this land. But that'll all happen next time. We're reserving that for the school. So, let's go out to our cinematic camera and say until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.